I just basically told her, all right, well, you have a really great day and I love you. And I can't tell you how much I'm so glad that I said those words to her, because she returned and said, I love you too, Mom. That would be the very last time I would hear those words from her. Worst day of our lives. What we knew as normal no longer existed from that point on. And we had discovered after that there were far too many people that didn't understand this was truly an issue.
Domestic and dating violence, a quiet, secretive societal issue that affects 1 in 4 women in the United States. After losing her 17-year-old daughter to dating violence, Bobbi Sudberry and her husband co-founded Kaity's Way to honor their daughter and spread the word.
We didn't even know it really had a name, to tell you the truth. We didn't know that, it could be referred to as dating violence or anything like that. We just looked at it as somebody was seriously harassing and bullying our daughter.
Violence can take many forms: physical or emotional, isolation and fear, power and control. But domestic and dating violence is much harder to combat than normal crime. ASUPD is trying to change that.
We're really trying to bring awareness to this topic by having a victim advocate now, by having this new position. That means I respond to help provide emotional support, resources, whether that's in the outside community or within the ASU community, as well as the criminal justice education.
Spillers, like Bobbi, knows that domestic and dating violence is sometimes hard to spot, especially in young relationships. Social media and cell phone communication can be an early sign.
Sometimes college students or even high school students, might think it's cute that a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner is texting all the time or wants to keep track of them. And those are red flags. Wanting to know your every move isn't cute or endearing. It's controlling, and it can lead to other factors, right? It can lead to other risks in the relationship.
They need to understand it, because abusers don't come in abusing. They come in very charming and decent. But if you understand the early warning signs, the coercive, non-physical controlling behavior that goes on in the early stages, then you'll be more apt to say, oh no, this is not a relationship for me.
If women, young or old, do not come to this conclusion on their own, they may end up here, at the Autumn House, a domestic violence shelter in the Valley.
I've been the director of shelter services, and I've been working for Newly for 20 years. So once they get here to Autumn House, the staff will greet them, bring them in the door, just welcome them, make them feel like they really are welcome.
The Autumn House offers many services to its residents, many of them children who come with the mothers. It is not just a place to lay your head. Caseworkers are available 24/7, and educational classes are even on the premises.
They want to feel safe. They want to feel like they don't have to constantly be vigilant about what's going to happen next. And that's what we're here for, is to help them find a way to move forward with their lives.
It took decades for violence against women to gain traction. Now the field is dealing with how to prevent domestic and dating violence in younger generations.
We need to educate people, especially youth, in their language. They need to understand, number one, that dating violence is a real issue. We've done a disservice to our children in not really teaching them what healthy relationships are, and we can't start young enough.
Bobbi Sudberry agrees that domestic and dating violence awareness, as well as healthy relationship education, is the final answer to combating violence against women of all ages.
Something we'd like to see happen, along with some legislation, to mandate healthy relationship education in the schools.
Senator Debbie Lesko, a state senator and someone who could bring Bobbi's vision into legislation, knows this tragic story too well.
And I was one of those women. I was educated, I had a good job, had graduated from college, was successful, and I married the wrong man. My ex-husband was manipulative, abusive, threatened my life many times, and threatened to take away our young daughter from me. It's very scary, and it took me a long time. It took me about 8 years to leave him, but I finally did.
Domestic and dating violence can cross any boundaries.
It can happen to anyone. That would be my message. Don't be fooled. It could happen to you.
We rationalize violence all the time, and we can't continue to do that. If we're going to end violence against women and children, and men and boys as well, we've got to start with the very basics. We've got to start, like I said, teaching what healthy relationships are.
And that is why all women, young or old, should be aware and help spread the message of safety and healthy relationships.
You should educate yourself about this because it affects a human being. It affects someone. And so with statistics like that, odds are it's going to affect you.
Bailey Netsch, Arizona Capitol Television.